Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about GCSE history. So why should you take GCSE history? Most importantly, it's probably because it's a really interesting subject. We look at a wide range of history, so hopefully you'll all find something that you find interesting to learn about. It also offers lots of valuable skills, both written and communication. It is respected by employers due to the high level of skills that you learn in history, how to form an argument, how to put together your opinion, how to work well and listen to others' points of view. It is also highly respected at colleges and sixth form and at universities. So what topics do we look at? Well, we look at 4 topics in total. First topic is all about crime and punishment. It's split into 5 sections. We look at how crime, punishment and law enforcement have changed over time. We start with Saxon England all the way up to modern day. As part of this, we look at an in-depth study of Whitechapel and Jack the Ripper. We look at why the police couldn't catch him and what problems we find from the police force. The next topic we look at is Weimar and Nazi Germany. We look at life in Germany from the end of World War I up until the start of World War II. This course is split into 4 sections. Life under the Weimar Republic, what problems they faced and how they dealt with these problems. Hitler's rise to power, how he was able to become Chancellor of Germany. How Hitler controlled Germany, how he used terror and propaganda to convince people to live his way of life, and what everyday life was like in Nazi Germany. We look at how people were employed and what jobs were like. We look at the role of women and how they were expected to live their life. And finally, we look at minorities with an in-depth study of how Jewish people were treated under the Nazis. The next topic we look at is superpower relations in the Cold War. Now, this is our political topic, however, it is no less interesting, and actually, it really helps you to understand what is happening in the world today. We look at what the Cold War was and how it affected the relationship between the USA and Soviet Russia. This is split into 3 sections. We look at the start of the Cold War and how it developed at the end of World War II and how relationships started to progress and worsen. We look at how the Cold War progressed and what happened during the Cold War, and then we look at how the Cold War came to an end. The 4th topic we look at is King Richard and King John. We look at who these 2 kings were, how they ruled, and the problems they faced. Again, this is split into 3 sections. The first section is everyday life in medieval England. We look at what life was like for people living in England at the time, peasants, in towns, and Jewish people. We then look at who King Richard was and how he ruled England and the problems he faced, like the Crusades. We then look at King John and how he ruled England and the problems he faced, like annoying the barons and annoying the church. What do exams look like in history then? Well, there are 3 exams. Your paper 1 is your crime and punishment exam. That is 1 hour and 15 minutes long. Your paper 2 is made up of the last 2 topics that we look at, superpower relations and Richard and John. Because it's made up of 2 topics, it's an hour and 45 minutes long. Your paper 3 is your Weimar and Nazi Germany paper. This is your source paper and it's an hour and 20 minutes long. So what does a good history student look like? Well, obviously it needs to be someone with a passion for history, as that's what you're going to be looking at for the next 2 years. You also need to be someone who's willing to put 100% into all of your lessons, because that is what we expect from you. You need to be someone who is willing to engage in the lesson and the activities that we give you, including listening to other people's opinions and using those opinions to help form your own. You need to be someone who completes your homework on time and to the best of your ability. So what can you do with GCSE history? Lots of people say that the only thing you can do with GCSE history is become a history teacher. However, there are lots of other jobs that you can do as well. You can, of course, become an historian or a teacher if that's where your passion lies. However, there are often journalists, TV presenters, and lawyers who all have GCSE history. What A-levels can it lead to? Well, obviously the main one is history A-level. However, you can also look at criminology, sociology, psychology, even A-level English, just to name a few. History is very good at linking itself to many of the different A-levels that you might be looking at doing in the future. Hopefully that answers any questions that you have. However, if you do have any more questions, please feel free to ask your history teacher, who will be happy to help you.